I'm Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. I want to wish everybody a very happy Chanukah. We just in Israel finished the fourth day of Chanukah and started the fifth day. In many places, you're still in the fourth day. Unbelievable lights that come down from heaven through the Menorah. And I'm going to talk today about this week's Parsha, which is Parsha Miketz, and about Chanukah, and combine the two of them. And we're going to talk about the topic of this conversation is doing it the right way. We know that some people think that the end justifies the means, that whatever you do to justify a good result is worth it, worth all of the means, whether honorable or dishonorable. Whatever you use to achieve the goal, as long as your goal is reached, that's what's important. Well, that may be what some people think and what some people do, but that is not what is suggested by the Torah. And the Torah, as exemplified by this Parsha, and the miracle of the one vial of oil to light the menorah, teaches us something different. Teaches us that the means do count. That teaches us that we must use holy means, proper means, in order to achieve a holy goal. This parsha starts with Yosef HaTzadik, Joseph, who's been in prison, about to get out of prison, and he gets out of prison to go interpret Pharaoh's dream. Why is he in prison? Because the person he worked for, Potiphar, he worked as a slave, his wife wanted to seduce him. And one day, when there was nobody in the house and he was there, she really tried hard to seduce him, and she pulled him towards her, and he's running away, he's resisting, and she pulled off a part of his clothing and he ran out in the street. And then she fabricated the story that he was trying to seduce her. And as a result, he was thrown into jail, thrown to the dungeon. And of course, this was last week's Parsha. In the dungeon, he became a model prisoner, and everybody was turning towards him. And the Parsha last week ends with the baker and the wine steward telling him their dreams, and he interprets them favorably. There is a Torah brought down by Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, and it is brought down in the book called The Soul of Chanukah, compiled by Rabbi Shlomo Katz. And it says, there's an amazing thing that happened. When Yosef HaTzadik was in prison, the wife of Potiphar came to him and said, Yosef, if you will only do what I want you to do, in other words, come and have a relationship with me, I will get you out of here. I will get you out of this prison, and everything will be fine for you. Otherwise, you're going to have to stay here and rot here forever. Yosef HaTzadik said, well, this is an opportunity for me to get out of prison. But he said, Hashem, God, if you really want me to get out of prison, isn't there a better way you can do it? Can't you do it with a holy way rather than this unholy, improper way? Reb Tzadok HaKohen says about the one vial of oil that was found. And this is why we have the lighting of the candles for 8 days, because there was one little vial that was enough to light the candle, the menorah, for only 1 day, and it lasted 8 days. He asked the question, I don't understand this. What's the big deal about this one vial of oil? The halacha, the law is that tuma b'tzibur hutra. If something is defiled and you have to do a service to God, such as the Menorah, on behalf of the whole community of Israel, it doesn't matter that the oil was defiled. They could use any oil. So why the big focus on this one oil of pure oil? Because God is showing us that he wanted to do the miracle through holy means, through the best possible means. The same thing with Yosef HaTzadik. When he turned down Potiphar's advances, he wanted to do it with holy means, not with Toma, defiled means. That's a very important message for us in life as to how we try to accomplish our goals. Unfortunately, many people say, we'll do whatever we want to do because the goal is good. We're going to have a good goal in the end. No, the Torah tells you something else, that you have to do it the right way. That's what counts. There's another little piece I want to mention in this Parsha, in Miketz. The brothers are finally getting together, and they're finally sitting down to eat together. And Benjamin was the youngest brother, and they're all together, and Yosef orders everybody to serve the brothers, but he orders that Benjamin, the youngest one, gets 5 portions, and everybody else only gets 1. And then the next thing that the Torah tells us, this is very interesting. It says, Vayishtu, Vayishkaru imo. And the brothers all drank with Joseph, and Joseph drank, and they got drunk with him. Rashi says, very interesting thing. Rashi says, why is the Torah telling us that they drank? Okay, we can understand why Joseph, after seeing his brothers finally reunited, understanding the families together again, he could have a l'chaim. You can understand that. But why does it bother to tell us that the brothers were drinking? What's the big deal? So Rashi says, because neither Joseph nor the brothers drank any wine from the time that Yosef was thrown into the pit and sold into captivity until this moment. Rabbi Shia Tursky, Dr. Abraham Tursky, says this teaches us a very important lesson. A lesson about tshuva. What is the way that we know that we have really conquered that which led us astray in the first time? And of course, the Rambam has the 3 levels of tshuva: recognizing what you've done, resolving not to do it, and then refraining when you have the opportunity again. So what this is teaching us is that initially they got into trouble. The brothers got into trouble because they envied Joseph, because he was treated more favorably. To do tshuva for that, real tshuva, right now, they see that here, Benjamin, the youngest, is again favored. He's got 5 portions, but they have learned their lesson. They've learned to do tshuva. They've learned to no longer be envious of anything in life. We know that the Pirkei Avos says envy is one of the things that drives a person from the world. They were no longer envious, and therefore it was fitting for them to have a l'chaim and to drink with Joseph. Thank you very much for listening on behalf of the webyeshiva.org.